What is up, YouTube? About to go to work, actually. But hope you guys are having a good week so far. Hopefully the next week is even better. But I want to talk about something today. I've been watching a lot of self-help, listening really. I listen to it when I drive. I've got a 35-minute drive to work every day. 35 there, 35 back. And about how to be successful and how to be better at sales and how to just be a better version of yourself. And what I've learned, I've been kind of listening to them since January. And what I've learned is that a lot of what they say just honestly doesn't work for me. You'll hear a lot of them talk about oh, you gotta sacrifice everything. You've gotta, stay out late, you've got to work late, you've got to put in all this time, and to a point you do have to put in extra time, right? And to a point, maybe if you wanted to be a billionaire, yeah, that works, but it's I don't have to be a billionaire. I don't want to be a billionaire. It would be cool, but that's not what I want to do. And I feel like it's almost kind of like a trap. Hey, if you want to be successful, you have to do A, B, C that takes away from so much more stuff. For me, it's not even my idea of success, of being successful, isn't making millions and millions of dollars. My idea of success is hey, I want to is really freedom. What can I do to be able to spend more time with my family and make enough money to provide my family with what I want them to have, right? I don't need $2, $3, $4 million a year to be able to do that, right? And so I feel like a lot of these videos, their idea of success is making millions and millions of dollars. And I'm sure there are people out there that's the only thing they see success as is how successful they are is based off how much money they make. And to me, and I feel like a lot of other people, that's just not the truth. I feel like success can be weighed in many different things. And so the way I look at it is a lot of things they say is, oh, well, at 2 a.m, there's one light on in the office, and that light is your office because you're staying at work late and blah, blah. And it's no, that takes time away from my family. How am I supposed to be a family man? How am I supposed to do this if I'm staying in the office till 2 a.m., right? And a lot of those times you can put that much time in, and is it really going to get you anywhere? Maybe, they say there's a lot of luck that goes into being successful, and, to a point that is true, but I feel where a lot of people miss is there is luck involved, right? But everyone has been lucky at something at least once. The issue is, when you got lucky, were you prepared for that opportunity? Have you been working to make sure you were prepared to be able to take advantage of the luck you had? For an example, I've had people reach out to me about personal training and online coaching, and had I not built the knowledge and the experience that I have, yeah, maybe it was lucky they asked me, but if I wasn't doing the work to be prepared, I wouldn't have been able to take advantage of the opportunity. So I think that's one thing too. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of looked at wrong. Most people have a family. Most people are going to have a family eventually. And as a father, as a parent, it's how do I never be home to put in extra hours to be successful? My daughter isn't going to grow up and go, oh, wow, daddy was never home because he made extra money. Ah, that is just so great. No, she's going to grow up. She's going to say, why was daddy never home? Why did I not get to spend time with daddy? And then it's also, they say, oh, well, you want to work hard so you can show your kids. No, they're not going to understand that. I would rather make sure I spend more time with them and do the things I need to do so then they can see it. They're not going to see you at 2 a.m. working at the office. They don't give a shit. They don't. They're going to say, damn, why is daddy always gone? Why is he never at home? How come I never get to play with daddy, right? Or mommy, if we're talking about, I'm sure there's some females that maybe watch this, some moms. But still, it's just how am I supposed to do that when my ideal vision of success is being able to be a part of my family. You know, like, hey, don't get me wrong. On the days I have off work, I go and train people for myself, my own business, right? But I do it on the days I have off work, so I could go spend 4 hours and come home and be with my daughter. I don't go to work, get off work, spend 4, 5, 6 hours, like, and never be home. And I think for most people, I think that's kind of the case, right? Like, yeah, I want to make some more money, but I don't need to make millions. My daughter's not going to give a shit if I make $1 million or if I make $80,000, you know, or $100,000. Like, she just knows that she gets the shit that she needs, right? And I think that's so important, because I find myself watching these videos and I'm like, damn, maybe I'm not working hard enough. Maybe I'm not, you know, and I think it's almost like a trap. They want you to think you have to be a millionaire. They want you to feel like you're behind in life. They want you to feel like you're not doing enough. And sometimes maybe you are, you know, it's just, your idea of success isn't the same idea of success that these people have. They want to be billionaires. They want to have, you know, Fortune 500 companies or whatever. They want to sell the most amount of books. They want to do all these things, and not everybody wants to do that. And so I just look at it as like, what am I giving in return for that? And is it worth it? So this is a little bit of a shorter video. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of these videos and listening to people talk about that. And I don't agree with it. I don't think I should sacrifice the time with my family to make a little more money or to potentially make millions of dollars, right? And even then, that doesn't happen overnight. So you think about, they're always like, oh, well, you know, it might take a year or two. And it's like, okay, well, that's a year or two that I did not spend a lot of time with my family because I wanted to make that much more money. And to me, that just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. The idea of my daughter not getting able to see me every day because I was working a little later, or the idea that I can't instill these things into my children or my daughter now because I'm gone. Like, how is she supposed to realize, oh, daddy's out working hard. Oh, daddy's doing this, you know, and she doesn't get to see it because I'm never home. It's just like, I don't know. It just kind of sounds backwards to me. I don't know why. Maybe, you know, maybe I just have a different way of thinking. Like, making billions of dollars just doesn't sound like, cool, you make $1 billion. How much happier are you? What difference did you make? Like, I've talked in another video, you know, like, I don't feel like I'm meant for a 9-to-5, but I don't mean that in a way of like, I feel like I'm meant to make millions of dollars. Like, I feel it in a way of like, I feel like I have a better purpose, a higher purpose than to just make a shit ton of money or to just work a 9-to-5 and just, you know, be complacent. It's more like, I feel like I have the opportunity and the potential to help a lot of people, you know, like, especially, obviously, I'm a personal trainer. I do online coaching. So I help people in that sense, but it's like, how much more of that information can I get out to people from making YouTube videos, from making Instagram videos, from making TikTok videos? How many more people are in a dark spot that can watch my videos and be like, damn, look at this guy. He's gone through similar things and he's speaking from experience. That's a lot more relatable. Maybe I should, you know, kind of buy into what he's saying, and maybe I can get some help, and maybe I can make my life better. You know, it doesn't always have to be about making millions of dollars, because that's not what I want to do. I want to be there for my family. I want to be able to spend as much time with my family as possible while still making money. Obviously, I would love to make more money than I'm making right now, you know, but to the amount of having to sacrifice so much time for my family to make millions, I just don't feel like I need to do that. I want to help people. I want to be with my family. And I think that there's a lot more people out there that want that than just making millions of dollars. But a little update. The supplement video I made 2 weeks ago is actually kind of popping off. So I think the next video I'm going to make is going to be more of like a series of every video I'll just be reviewing, or not necessarily reviewing, but like kind of breaking down the different types of supplements that I talked about in the first video. So like, I think the next one I'm gonna do is gonna be pre-workout, and just kind of talk about your average ingredients that are in pre, what they do, how much of it you want to take, stuff like that. And so if you have a specific supplement, whether it be creatine, pre-workout, protein, vitamins, whatever, heck, honestly, I've been doing a lot of research on like peptides and stuff too. So if you have any questions on those, put your answers down in the comments and I'll read through them and kind of figure out which one I want to do after pre-workout. But other than that, I appreciate you guys. Leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next week.